Hello everybody, this is Bilone from mnpctech.com, also known as Monster Mod here on YouTube. How you been? I've got a real worldwide exclusive for you today. I've got the first ever sample of Corsair's brand new mid-tower, the 600T Graphite. As you can see, I've posted all the specifications and retail price right there on your screen, so please feel free to pause the video and read the specs if needed. This isn't a box opening, unveiling type video only. We are going to take a tour around this case and take a closer look at all of the details. As you can see, Corsair packaged their cases much like every other manufacturer. This one arrived with no damage whatsoever. Corsair had unveiled the 600T for the first time at the Computex show in Taiwan in June. You can find those videos here on YouTube. I've been excited to see it in person finally because, again, it's the first mid-tower that Corsair has made, and it's been a while since there's been a new mid-tower design in the market that's got everybody excited. Now that it's finally out of the box, we can take a closer look at everything. You can see it's got rounded corners. There's actually a lip on the top of the bezel and the back so you can pick up the case easily. You wouldn't know that looking at pictures online, but Corsair did that on purpose. It's got these new panels. Take a look at the paint. This is a graphite metallic paint. You would have never known that by the pictures online. It's really pretty in person. And there's some low-tack tape that covers the top removable grill, and Corsair does that just to keep it secure in shipment so it doesn't come off and get broken or bent or anything. Another piece of tape on the front grill, which is removable. It's got spring-loaded clips, and it's constructed from ABS plastic and perforated steel, and there's a fine mesh screen in there that's easy to vacuum out. Very easy to access when you need to clean out the front filter. And there's some more plastic covering just to protect the trim on the front bezel. Let's take a closer look at the top control panel. Here is the hard drive activity LED, FireWire, one USB 3.0, microphone jack, and then the built-in rheostat fan controller for 4 fans, which moves nice and fluid. And then there's 4 USB 2.0, headphone jack, and then the power switch. On the opposite sides, the reset switch, which are both discreetly integrated into the top design, and I really like how everything looks. The top perforated grill is easily removed by pushing down on the spring-loaded mechanism. Here resides the 200mm exhaust fan, and you can actually secure the access panel on the 600T with this lock here. It's only on the left side access panel, and here's a close-up of the latching mechanism for the top grill. The top grill's construction consists of an ABS plastic frame and perforated steel, and it's very durable. The side panel latches are spring-loaded. The panels are removed similar to Corsair's 700 and 800D full towers. They're constructed from steel, yet feel very lightweight and durable at the same time. The interior of the 600T is really what I anticipated seeing the most, and Corsair doesn't disappoint. They put a lot of thought into the layout of their chassis designs, and they've brought back the cable management grommets that were first debuted in the 800D that everybody loves. I love. They're great to use. Now other manufacturers are doing it. There's a 200mm fan from the inside. Here's the accessory bag that they included with it, and what we'll do is go through that later on towards the end of the review, but I really want to take a look at these hard drive cages. They're both removable. They have 3 hard drive trays per cage, and they take either 3.5-inch or solid-state drives. And here is a new toolless design by Corsair for the optical drives. A close-up of the cable management grommets. I mean, there's even a couple under the motherboard tray location. I mean, that's awesome. May never use it, but hey, it's great that it's there anyways. And here's something I've never seen before. An adjustable plate for different size power supplies. I've never seen that before. You can actually extend it out if you got a longer power supply, like the PC power and cooling ones that are typically long. There is 8 expansion slots with black anodized thumb screws, my finger sticking through a water-cooled tubing hole, and a 120mm exhaust. If you know me personally, or if you've even heard me on the Mod Brothers podcast, you've probably heard me complain about the plastic toolless releases that some manufacturers use on their chassis. They simply wear out and break over time. And it looks as if Corsair has acknowledged that this is a concern, and they've made a very durable release that's also removable. So if you want to paint your chassis, you can remove them without breaking them or having the tape around them. The 600T has 6 removable hard drive trays that accept both 3.5-inch and solid state drives. There is pre-installed vibration dampening grommets for the 3.5-inch drives. Both of the hard drive cages are removable. You can remove just the top cage to accommodate longer size video cards in the future or improve airflow. You can relocate the top hard drive cage to the floor of the chassis next to this lower cage, or remove both cages altogether. I noticed the base for both hard drive cages was hollow, so you could hide wires in there if you wanted. The front 200mm intake fan is easily removed from the chassis. It resides in a plastic frame that clips onto the front of the chassis. I connected the 600T's cooling fans and fan control to a hot wired power supply in my shop. The fans were adjusted to the lowest speed on the fan control. The power supply has a removable filter located beneath the chassis right under the power supply, and it is one of the most discreet and actually stylish filter designs I've seen for a power supply. Continuing our tour of the chassis, here is one of the rubber grip inserts for the pedestal foot. Earlier I showed you the power supply mounting bracket that you can adjust to fit different size power supplies. The 600T Graphite does not come with a removable motherboard tray. However, it has ample space for cables behind the motherboard mounting plate. I measured the gap to be 1.5 inches between the motherboard plate and the right side access panel. Removing the front exterior piece of the 600T is pretty straightforward, but you still want to be careful. It is held on with plastic tabs that could potentially break. The 5 1/4 bay covers are easily removed with quick release tabs, and each bay is filtered. The rear exterior trim piece is held on similar to the front trim and the top trim, all with plastic tabs. I realize that most people will never remove these pieces, but hey, while we're at it, why not? Inside the accessory bag, you get 8 zip ties used for cable management, 8 additional fan screws, 24 flat screws used for installing the solid-state drives, 20 hard drive and motherboard screws, 8 grommets for installing a 240 radiator, the keys for the access panel, some Corsair literature on new products, the Corsair startup guide with an illustration of everything included with the case, and then warranty information. There is a 2-year warranty on the 600. If you have any type of issues or problems, contact Corsair directly versus the retailer. My final thoughts and impressions of the 600T Graphite. Exceptional design and construction, and the 2-year warranty alone proves that it's very well made. It actually feels very similar to aluminum, although it's steel. Great cable management features. Anyone can make a cable job look nice in this case. There's plenty of internal space, room to grow into with the hard drives being removable. good cooling with very low noise, and there's plenty of filtering built in to the case already. Corsair put a lot of thought and listened to feedback on the features that they included, like the fan controller for 4 fans, the option to install a 240 size radiator, the adjustment plate for different length power supplies, and the security lock for the left access panel, and then the 4 USB 2.0 ports on the top that are convenient to get to, as well as the 3.0 USB. If I were to have a wish list for Corsair, if they're watching and listening, is to consider a optional window version, because I know a lot of people like to have windows in their cases, an additional cooling fan, another 200mm fan in the left panel perhaps, metal hard drive trays instead of plastic ones, different color options, at least a silver version I think would look really good in this case, and then the option for a 360 radiator in the top panel. I know the top would have to be revised slightly, but there is space for it. It could be done in a future version. I would like to thank you for watching this video review, and I hope it helps you in making a decision if the 600T is right for your needs or not. And I also want to apologize for not having any case mod guides or tutorial videos up for a very long time. I've been very busy with projects, and you can actually watch this case get transformed into something completely different. And I have all my work logs at themodbrothers.com under Bill Owens work logs. And again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing to the channel and leaving your comments, and I hope you have a great day.